So I've been playing Kid Chameleon, and what a 90s video game.
There was a new machine in the arcade that one could walk into and play. It used holograms to create a reality not our own. Everybody played it. But it was a little too real. The boss escaped and began capturing kids by defeating them at the game. This is the story of someone who was too tough to beat. Someone known as... Kid Chameleon!
Whoa, costumes! Also, the blotch reminds me of the Attack or even Sword Art Online. Screw you, Kirito, I'm relying on Radical Doom number 1523. Even Yogi Bear has more style than him, even Kirito too. The plot reeks of, I made my OC more powerful than anyone else, he's gonna save the day and he has superpowers granted by his costumes, and this game feels so dang autistic, even more when every costume looks hardcore radical cool. Also, Jason Voorhees. I'm going to be honest, without the save features, rewind, forwards, etc., this game sounds frustrating to play. The level designs often open up multiple possibilities for exploration. It's just that everything is so haphazardly scattered to the point where you need to walk the walls to find out you can either climb or go through one of them. Cheap obstacles, enemies, etc. made me rewind harder than, I don't know, that movie. One thing this game gets so right are the costumes. They're generic, but they get their own health bar each. And even without any costumes, our hero can do some stuff. Costumes have been a staple of gaming since Super Mario Bros. 3, I think, or even earlier. Most of them not affecting your health or just being an extra hit you can take. Mickey Mouse is good at making you switch costumes. Charming. I'm also a big fan of those Disney games. They're so simple, fun, efficient. The rodents get costumes all with different functions, especially on the GBA, where many also wear cool clothes. Whoa, girls get to be firefighters? Now I see why Michelange's into you. Whoa! It's quite rare that costumes are an integral part of the gameplay nowadays. Oftentimes those costumes feel like simple cosmetic rather than power-ups. Despite how they don't change much about the gameplay, free-to-play games still hype them up so that people can spend money on them. Fighting games also get seasonal outfits so that people play them more. It's neat. Too bad I have only the Street Fighter 6 demo. You know who probably started that trend in the West? Sonic Adventure 2! Of course it's Sonic! It's always Sonic! Or maybe RuneScape, or Ultima Online. I don't know. One of the games that stuck with costumes through and through is the Mario. Mario 3 works like a theater play, so it has costumes as power-ups. World gets a cape, while 64 gets caps. Caps that turn you invisible, that make you into metal, or that gives you wings so that you can fly. As for Sunshine, no! Sunshine has this one costume, but I don't know what it does. Either way, costumes still exist in the Mario universe, hence why the Peach game gets costumes. Let's talk about Peach first in isolation, before we tackle it with another game in mind. It is I, ETNB in real life for some reason. Okay, but first, Barbie. Barbie games used to be about dressing up Barbie rather than focusing on activities like she later did in later games. She embraced the cosmetics. Over the time though, her costumes started representing her various jobs she has. For example, Barbie as an explorer, Barbie does sports, Barbie leaks the Epstein list. However, most of these costumes don't give her superpowers, unlike in the Barbie movies. which personally means I think it's wasted potential. I get it, there is a cozy Barbie home decorating game, but I mean, it's kind of wasted potential. So why not create a game starring the closest girl to Barbie, the Princess Peach, and give her costume power-ups like Mario, but give her different jobs for each costume, since it's a theater play? After my last video, I tried finding any interview about Princess Peach Showtime, but nothing! Heck, even the fact that Goodfield developed the game wasn't mentioned anywhere until the credits in the demo. The amount of marketing was right, so what gives them the right to be so secretive about the game's developments? Okay, let's talk about the gameplay. We have multiple costumes for Peach. Why does she get costumes? Simple, because she is in a theater play. In a theater. Because each level is constructed like a theater play. You can even see that through the very samey camera angle. Team symbolism! Each costume gets its own gameplay. From cooking, to sneaking, to minigames, to combat, etc. Peach Souls. Sort of like how Barbie gets multiple jobs, so does Princess Peach. Except Barbie needs an entire game to use her costume, while Princess Peach has the holy grail known as gameplay variety. Because of budget! Still, a lot of Barbie games' controls feel more complex since they use more than 2 buttons. I kind of like a simple and cozy game sometimes. Sometimes you just need a fun little game. So that's why I love the way Princess Peach Showtime plays. Hence why I rent it once. I don't feel like paying $80 for it. Unlike other less simple games, such as Final Fantasy, ever since Final Fantasy III, Square started putting jobs in the game. Using a job system helps you customize your heroes as much as you want. But the thing is that each job works differently. In order to make the player better understand its mechanics, they decided to put on those tiny cute little costumes. I kinda love them. To that, it helps you feel like you've gotten another version of a character that you like. Final Fantasy X-2 as well as Lightning Returns kinda elaborated a lot more on this mechanic. My favorite version of this game are the tiny Chocobo costumes in Final Fantasy Chocobo's dungeon, because look how cute they are! Bravely Default also uses that system, since it wasn't really used in the 2000s aside from 10-2, which was considered a black sheep unfortunately, so why not use that job system in Bravely Default? There's also how Bravely Default is a successor to Final Fantasy The Four Spirits of Light. I'd love to see a re-release. It's just that I haven't played the Bravely Default sequels, because there's apparently 2 and also Bravely Second. That one game where you can dress up Miis as much as you want, Miitopia, also has these jobs, because it is a light-hearted parody of JRPGs. Miitopia is great, funny even, thanks to its very stupid tone and very silly music. Ape Escape 3's music isn't really as silly, but it's still very charming, all thanks to Soichi Terada's work. The thing about Ape Escape costumes is that despite being introduced in the multiplayer title Pumped and Primed, they're only there for cosmetics from what I remember. In Ape Escape 3, instead of 3 gadgets, you get morphs, each one being assigned to the right joystick, each one having their own powers. They all play slightly similarly, but they each have their own costumes, most costumes being different whether you pick Kei or Yumi. I feel like the main reason why the costumes got gendered consists of Yumi being a pop star, so it makes sense for her to look and want to be a pretty princess. It's an artistic direction choice. It's not like you can direct something in this game. Oh wait, Simian Cinema. In this mode, you can create a movie using any monkeys who each wear different costumes for understandable reasons. It's so much fun to create new movies. It just takes so much space on the memory card. That hurts. Fortunately, you can record stuff with multiple apps on the internet. I love you, internet. Sometimes, I don't want people to harass devs, just don't. Speaking of Metroid, does Master Chief have cool pew-pew suits? No, screw you Halo, because Metroid is in the house. Samus has so many gosh darn suits. It's impressive, more than the actual game in my opinion. The fact that Samus has almost as many costumes as Mario shows how important her legacy is. We love her for that. One of her suits, the Zero suit, did not just show how cool she looks, but in the original Metroid was something of an achievement. Look at this cool suit I got for completing the game. Costumes often were their own form of achievements that you'd show off to friends. Nowadays, they show how much money you spend on the game, or how Melka ultra skilled you are. Maybe Chibi-Robo, for example, is a game for only the most patient Nintendo fan. Chibi-Robo collects a ton of costumes, most of them having an effect on NPCs or a type of importance to the story. My favorite one being the bandage costume, whose name I don't remember when Chibi-Robo's battery run out. You can use it to play dead and lose half of your moolah. The aspect of interactivity the costumes have go beyond gameplay practicality, playing into the story unlike many games that use them. Unfortunately, none of the other Chibi-Robo entries use this mechanic. That doesn't mean I hate them, aside from Park Patrol where you can lose progress, but that's something I wish was prevalent in more games, especially since most franchises went open world, which means more NPC interactions and more possibilities to vary those interactions, which can help progress the story. I haven't played Infinity Nikki though.
Okay, so time out. I went to Reddit to ask about costumes being a gameplay mechanic, and I'm never doing that again. Including because of the person that suggested the guy's game as an example, as well as the other one asking me about research. A lot of Zelda games have costumes, with Majora's Mask becoming a certain point of symbolism representing the inhabitants' struggles. I like how that aspect was tackled in a game that was developed in less than 1 year. Breath of the Wild also has costumes. Hitman has costumes to let you carry out assassinations. Yes, they get very creative. It's just that I'm too busy playing other games for that. Metal Gear Solid 3's camo works in a similar fashion by letting you blend into your environment. Shout out to the 3DS version for letting you take photos to turn into camo. I haven't played Costume Quest in a hot minute, but from what I remember it still slaps. I haven't played Raving Rabbids 1 for GBA and DS, but I know that you can switch costumes. A Hat in Time got Axe under the skin for PS2 uses it to let you sneak by or straight up possess the inhabitants. 7 The Days Long Gone, Indiana Jones, Staz Wanted, definitely renting that one. Dead Fred, Contact, Skull the Hero Slayer. Nope, no more! Let's just say that editing this might be a bit hard. Let's just get to Balan Wonderworld, a game I love, yet could have been so much better in my opinion. It has a rather infamous reputation for people who listen to the critics, played the game, or just played the demo, or even care too much about parasocial relationships. Calm down! But I am going to avoid that, since gaming discourse consists of riding the popular opinion to feel morally superior, only to move on to the next trash game. It's an endless cycle. The Sonic franchise was a victim of this as far as I'm concerned. I love taking my time to play Balan Wonderworld. No rushing, just vibing. Aside from the statue collection and the bosses, I didn't feel like I got pressed to finish everything as fast as possible. From what I understood, Naka wanted 80 costumes but then realized the team couldn't do it, so the team did it anyways. So while we have 80 costumes, most of them having a certain type of use, a lot of them straight up do the same thing. Quantity over quality, I guess. I know those costumes symbolize the character's struggles, which I feel is a pretty important part of the game's message, but 40 costumes would have been fine. It's probably due to the lack of communication between the teams and the execs. Plus, maybe it wasn't clear that the deadline was something the team could move. Either way, those costumes might not matter to people who want to play Balan Wonderworld, so maybe the team should have tried prioritizing other things, such as how, despite the game having launched 3 years after Kid Chameleon, each costume is only 1 hit point rather than an entire health bar, leading to some very unforgiving situations. Even more when the stage's longevity lasts about half an hour minimum with no real checkpoints. Despite that, I still think Balan Wonderworld's costumes help it as a form of art. If it was less annoying to go through, I would have loved it even more. Maybe separating the levels even more could have helped, because I love going through these huge levels using these costumes. This whole game is a vibe. I'd at least recommend the cutscenes since the story resonated with me a lot. As much as I enjoyed it, so many little tweaks could have helped my experience and fortified it as my favorite game using costumes. That said, gamers don't want to engage with it, they just want to feel morally superior. So no mods, I guess. The only thing people will point to as being similar is Princess Peach Showtime, before they blasted that one too. Here's a small comparison in my opinion. First, presentation. Princess Peach Showtime wins on Switch. Aside from those cutscenes, as much as I enjoy Princess Peach's gameplay, it is tight as hell. The only advantage is the bigger amount of freedom. These levels look big and exploring them feels fun, while Princess Peach Showtime has the same camera angles as Paper Mario or Ghost Tricks. Both are fun, but I prefer Balan. You'd be surprised by how many 3D platformers I've enjoyed with a free camera, just not Bubsy because of the level design. As for the story, same thing. Princess Peach is a campy fun adventure, while Balan has more to say about a bunch of themes. I love Balan more, but Princess Peach Showtime still is pretty important to me, also to the sales. One last aspect I forgot to mention about Balan is how the costumes are the same for both playable characters. No gendered costumes. Miitopia did this slightly later before it became the standard in gaming, so that's something neat to consider, as femme-coded costumes used to be more of a punchline. That's cosmetics though. So that was a fun video to make. Costumes good. Thank you for watching and please like and subscribe and bye!